4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Hi, my name is Sounak Chakrabarti, and I'm part of Team 7, and I'll be presenting on TurboSponge, or DP1 report, which I worked with along with Jesus Saravia and Logan Stevenson. So for the project, it was required to make a product which would interest college students at Virginia Tech, and we also needed to use a microcontroller. So during this presentation, we'll be talking about the product planning stage that we went through in order to plan our specific product before we go into the design phase and actually prototype the product. So we identified customer needs and we came up with specifications with this product, and at the end, we made an economic analysis of it. So the first stage of the product planning phase was to screen our opportunities. So initially, our pot pan scrubber wasn't the first idea that we had. We also had a dancing hokey bird, which would be dancing with a spring on top of a motor driver, and that would be swinging back and forth. And then there's also the battery powered screwdriver that we could be also making. But by using the RWW framework, we realized that, first of all, the dancing hokey bird is not competitively viable, and the battery powered screwdriver was just too hard to make. So we canceled those and we moved on with the product planning phase for the battery powered pot pan scrubber, which we would be potentially calling the TurboSponge, which I will be explaining in the next slide. So here we categorized our team project as incremental improvements to existing products to make it easier to actually build something viable. So we took an axle grinder and we took a dish scrubber and we put those together, and voila, we get a TurboSponge. So after we did that concept generation, we completed the 5-step planning phase, which included identifying market opportunities, which obviously would be college students, but also potentially could be cleaning services and pet care. Our competitive strategy, as is seen, we're looking at axle grinders and we're looking at dish cleaners, would be imitative per se, and we would allocate resources according to these needs, and we created a mission statement at the end, and we reflected on this concept generation phase of the whole product planning phase. So here is our mission statement. So we created a product description. Here, Team 7 is designing a convenient handheld device which is capable of cleaning in various spaces. So the benefit proposition is to be able to clean with limited physical work, to be efficient as possible, and to have an easily accessible and portable handheld cleaning device. Our primary market is college students, but it can also, obviously, as I said before, it can go to manufacturing industries, it can go to pet care companies, it can go anywhere as a household good. But we're first trying to place our products in colleges across America, and then we'll probably expand to the common household. Our stakeholders is purchasers and users, manufacturing operations, cleaning service operations, and also pet owners. But this is all assuming that whoever is using our product will own water and soap, and they have to be able to use microcontrollers properly, so which would be possibly like flipping a switch or something, or using a dial. So yeah, now we're going to be looking into how we use this mission statement and we follow throughout multiple stages in our product planning stage. So as I said in the last slide, we do need to plan this out, and we used a schedule, a Gantt chart, in order to block out what we would be doing in the next few weeks. Obviously, we've gone through the identifying customer needs and the concept generation on the 30th of October, and we're slowly going to be moving into the industrial design aspect of this phase. And we've done some preliminary economic analyses, but we will be doing more of that. And at the end, we're hoping to prototype this product and then present it to our class as something that can be potentially viable on the market by December 11th per se. So here, in order to let customers and investors know how our product is going to be used, we created a use case scenario, which is cleaning a dirty dish while living in a dorm. And I created a basic flow of how this can be done, which is the college student will use this tool in the dorm as a fast solution whenever they are trying to clean a dish or something that is sitting around. And they'll use this along with some dishwasher liquid and some water, and they'll scrub the dirty plate in order to get to the post condition, which is the plate has been cleaned and ready to be reused. Now, I have added along the basic flow some alternative flows in case something does go wrong, so you can go over that in case. And our business rules is that the machine must be operated under normal conditions because the torque on the top of the tip of the product is very fast indeed, so you do not want to be messing around with that. And so this is our use case, and we've presented this in our customer interviews, and that's how we're generating some customer needs as well. In our next slide. So here Logan, she interviewed 6 potential customers, and she had some raw data, some customer statements, and we interpreted those as needs that we would be using in our QFD later on. So one of the main ones that I identified, which were pretty important, was not having to change the batteries often, which we interpreted as having long battery life, along with can broke college students easily purchase this product, and we interpreted that as making this product as affordable as possible. So here, as I said before, we created a quality function chart, QFD per se, and we mapped our customer needs that we generated from our last slide to create target specifications to show our customers that we actually acknowledge their customer needs and what they want, but also to show investors what we can be potentially using here. So one of the main ones that we identified was battery life as a target specification and life cycle. As you can see, the technical importance of these are 79 and 45 on our point system here. And we've also found the technical priority, which is 158 for life cycle and 90 for battery life. So we've addressed these as quantifying them in terms of volts and end cycle in terms of units. And that's how we're going to be going along when we do our prototyping. We'll put these numbers on top of the product. So at the end of the day, it's all about the money. So we do need to do some preliminary economic analyses in order to figure out how much we need to make in a certain time span so that we can be profiting. So we've been told that $10,000 is our fixed cost, and obviously there will be some variable cost, which is $7 for each unit. So in order to make money, generate some revenue on each unit, we decided to have a selling price of $10.50, and we graphed this on MATLAB in order to see that we need around 2,857 units to be sold in order to go above the break-even point, essentially, and we could be making some money in the future. So what has this part of the project actually taught us is the product planning phase, how we can do some analysis in the beginning to actually identify a potential product that will be viable in the market and to work along with our peers in order to actually push something towards the prototyping phase and the doing interviews in order to figure out what we actually need in terms of product specifications and doing some analysis on costs and revenue. And we are trying to use all this data that we've generated in order to potentially create a product which will be on the market soon. So yeah, any questions? Thank you very much.